So I post a lot about self growth and mental growth, but I just thought it'd be good to just share my testimony and where I am with the self growth and mental growth. Everybody knows because I've said it a lot and I talk about it often. I battled a lot for well over a year, and I'm just saying a year, but it was probably more than a year when I was taking care of my mom and working at the same time. It was very stressful for me, and I was battling depression really, really bad. But people also don't know I was also battling a lot more. I lost a lot of friends around that time, and I don't know, I just felt very low, and I got very depressed. Depression started for me back in early 2019, and I could see improvement around 2020. Around the time, it's crazy that COVID started coming in and the schools closed. And I say that because when schools closed, it gave me a chance to just have a break. I was working back to back nonstop. I had two mentoring groups, and outside the mentoring groups, I was still checking on uh, old members that used to be in the groups that needed help, and I didn't mind doing that at all, and I still do it from time to time. But I wasn't taking care of myself, especially mentally. So it weighed on me big time. And please know depression is real. So when I thought I was improving and, things were getting better, then I noticed my mom started to decline even more within a week or so. And probably a week and a half after seeing that decline, she passed away. So there I am again, back in depression, going through, grieving over my mom. Then a breakup happens, and I'm still grieving my mom at this time. So it was a lot, and all of that occurred over the summer. And I felt like by the time my 30th birthday came in August, I just didn't feel like celebrating. I did, thankfully. My family came and one of my best friends, but I was very unhappy at that time. And I don't know, I just could not shake it. I could not shake this depression at all. Because number one, grief it's a very long journey. And never let anybody tell you when the when to stop grieving, pretty much. Because only you know that at the end of the day. Some people grieve nonstop for life. It goes on and off. It's been 5 months for me. There are times I still get upset. I'm working through that though. But the one thing you can't do is give up on life, and you have to push yourself to keep going. That's the biggest thing you need to remember. And I think the dream I had about a week and a half ago about my mom was that sign for me, knowing that she's still watching over me. She's taught me everything that she could teach me in my 29 years of knowing her. So now I just need to go on carrying all the things that she taught me, all that wisdom, all that knowledge that she gave. Use it. Remember it. When times get hard, think about it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And that was the start of my mental growth, my spiritual growth and journey, along with, thanks to a good friend of mine slash ex co-worker, Miss You Ebony Toppin, Stress Less and Self-Care cards. Her cards were more self-affirmation, which I also follow on her page on Snapchat and use in the mornings. Just giving positive quotes, saying positive things to yourself each morning giving affirmations that you're going to have a good day no matter what trials may come and hit you. And I feel the stress less and self-care cards add on to that. They help you remember in trying times to think of one small positive thing that has happened or something that you want to happen. And that's something you want to happen. Ask yourself, how am I going to make this happen? So you come up with steps and you just work on it throughout the day. For one example, this one is understanding, getting to the core. Are you holding yourself back from doing something you love to do? And for me, I love to sing. And people didn't know that. I loved to sing all my life from a child up, but I didn't like to sing in public. When I was a kid, I did not want to sing in public. My mom, Lord bless her, made me sing in church. I was 3, but thankfully I sung with her in church. And then I sung in a choir when I was 8. But I didn't like it. I would rather be in the back playing instruments at that time. I would just sing to myself. And a lot of reasons was I didn't like my voice. In the beginning, I loved to sing. I loved music, but I just didn't like my voice. And I didn't want people to hear it and criticize me. So it was thinking about what people thought about me. And it stopped me from singing. Years later, about a year ago, my sister overheard me singing when I was pumping gas and told me, you should sing. You should start back singing because you have a good voice. My mom did the same thing. Told me, use the gifts that God gave you. It wasn't just musical instruments. It wasn't just your ministry. You can sing. Stop leaving gifts behind and let God use you for his glory. So I started singing. And I'm glad that I did start back, and I'm able to share that now on my page and not care what people think because I enjoy it. It brings me peace. I have fun with it, and I'm just thankful I'm in a better state of mind where I'm doing something that I love to do, and I'm no longer caring or worrying about what people think. Yes, it took 30 years to get here, but I'm here now. So, hey, I was cut off when a phone call came. But what I was saying was it may have took some time for me to get to the place where I want to share my gifts and not care about what people think, but I'm here now. It doesn't matter. You could be 50, 60 years old. As long as you get to the point where you want to make a change in your life, it's never too late to make that change for the better. Especially when you're seeking positive vibes and just seeking for peace of mind, and spiritual peace and guidance from God. It's never too late. That's what we all strive to do. Well, that should be what we should be striving to do if we're not. The other one, which is something I've done anywhere, another card, it's called mental vacation. Separate your work life from your personal life. So as your work day comes to an end, your body and mind have accumulated a lot of stress. You may feel exhausted or mentally drained. It's very common to carry that agitation home with you if you don't create a peaceful transition between your work and personal life. For me, my previous job where I was a day treatment counselor and intensive in-home counselor, then doing mentoring work with ties with the guys, it would be very stressful for me. So when I would get off work, and as soon as I hit that car and turn that music on, I would turn work off. I would take my mind off it. Now, a lot of times when I got home, I would have to turn it back on to do the paperwork. But for the most part, I didn't like to talk about work. I didn't like to share all the bad stuff that had happened. I just wanted to take my mind off it and focus on things at the house. Anything but work. So you should separate your work life from your basic home life because it can be very stressful. You bring that stuff home, you're not getting peace at all. And it's just adding on more and more stress, and you don't need that. Honestly, I'm just in a headspace where I'm seeking positivity. I'm seeking for peace. Continue to seek for that mental and spiritual growth, as I keep saying, and I can feel that peace of God surrounding me. I can feel just peace as a whole. I feel so much better. I feel happier. I am having fun and just enjoying the free time I do have when I'm not working. I enjoy being at the church that I'm at. Shout out to Cape Charles Baptist, where I play drums at with the praise team. I am doing the things that I love, and I am continuing to seek God and just asking Him to continue to use me for His glory and just to keep pushing me forward and help me not to go backwards. I was very depressed at one time, and I'm feeling more at peace. And not saying that it won't happen again, but I have things that will help me if it does happen. I have a much better relationship with my family who I can talk to when days aren't good. And, they're going through things too, so we can help each other and talk to each other. Secondly, like I said, these cards, I seriously use these every morning and throughout the day, and I keep my prayer life going even when I'm working. On my break, I'm able to just pray that I continue to have a good day, or if my day is struggling, that it'll get better. And also just remind myself of the things that I struggled with the day before and how I can prevent that from happening this day. You gotta work on it. You gotta push yourself. We're in a very troubled time with COVID-19. This has been the craziest time with elections. I thought the last election was very crazy, but no. It has been a rough year as a whole. 2020 has been crazy. But we got to keep going. We got to push ourselves and just have faith that somehow, some way, it is going to get better. It will. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. So be encouraged and just live. Live in the now. Remember to seek God and not to give up on your prayer life. And remember, He's always there. He's taking care of you. And the loved ones you lost are now your guardian angels. They would want you to move forward and be happy and live. So remember that. All right, guys, God bless. Thought I'd just share a little with you. Be breezy.